Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every day. It's Monday. It's the Monday mashup. So if you could, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like on the video. And while you're at it, also go over and follow Legends 11 on Facebook and Wexford Celtic FC on Facebook as well, folks. Join us tonight. We have a couple of guests. The man you will recognise in the mall at the top, the gaffer himself, Tony Brown. Tony, how are we, my friend?
All good. Thanks for having me back. You must be stuck. You must be stuck for guests. You're asking me back.
Absolutely. And also on Terry Cook, Secretary for Wexford Celtic FC, all the way from beautiful Wexford, is on to tell us about a fabulous night that's going to be happening this Friday in the Riverbank House Hotel. We'll get to that shortly. Before we do that, of course, we have our sponsors for the Monday mashup each and every week. Marky, let them know what they got to do.
Yeah, contact us on socials. Where May and June is nearly booked out at this stage, to be fair. Loads of stuff happening, communions, confirmations, weddings, all the Legends 11 event as well. So it's pretty busy at the minute. And as you can see, Brown, you've seen it yourself, the reaction the lads get on Saturday afternoon with the trophies and stuff like that was great, you know.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Now, in the chat, Dano's in. Hurry up, Mark. Hurry bleeding up, as he says. Liverpool in advance talks for Frimpong. And also, Philip is in. Big up, Philip. Good, you're there, man. And Baz is in as well. The OJs are all in the chat tonight. So there we go. Right, we kick off with Legends 11. Tony, quick look back at Leeds. What a great day we had up there in Bray Wanderers, the Roaches Town, and the Talbot Hotel in Stillorgan. Give us a rundown. How was your day compared to our one?
Yeah, look, these events are a long time being put together, and I explained that to the committee. It's a jigsaw, and it's usually the run up the last couple of weeks. But I have to say, I've said it already over the weekend. I'm doing this 16 years. And this has to be up there as one of the best, if not the best we've ever done. It was unbelievable from start to finish. The gods are looking down at us with the crowds, the weather. And it was just one of them days where everything just clicked in. It was fantastic. It really was.
Yeah, I'd say we had a great day. Myself and Mark as well. And Paul, my daughter's boyfriend as well, he's a big Leeds fan, and he was just blown away by the whole thing. And one of the things he said to me at the end was he was talking greatly about the setup and how smooth everything was and all that kind of stuff, and how professional it's ran, but how that closeness you feel when you go to these events and stuff like that. And we've said it time and time again. So hats off to yourself, Tony. And obviously we mentioned Tom as well, Tom Mulhall, who was your right-hand man, did a great job on the day as well, was flat out on the day along with many others. And all that. As you always say yourself, Tony, it's a group effort that makes these things run so smooth. So hats off.
I could just say, Brown, and one of the best bits of the day was getting a Garda escort on a purple bus down the N11.
Oh, my God. Do you know what? I have to tell you this story, chaps, right? I got let down for a bus, so I was given this guy's number, so I rang him. And his name was Alan Clark. You couldn't make it up, right? And he says to me, yeah, you'd see me. So we made arrangements. I come out, if you imagine, you're coming out of Terminal 1 with the Leeds players, and I'm on the phone to this guy. He goes, yeah, I'm right in front of you, the purple bus. And this thing come up. I went, did they have the bus out of one for all the cuckoo's nest when they wanted the trip? That's what it was like. The Leeds players thought it was brilliant, but it was a student's bus, right? So your man had big speakers on it, and he had the lights. So we were playing music on the way out. Jared Doolan was doing DJ. You seen that yourself, Mark?
Yeah.
There must have been 60 lads on that bus going out to Bray with a police escort. Manic, but the best crack really was. You know, oh my God.
It looks we were getting off the cars that were being stopped by the guards, and they're looking at this purple bus.
Tony, I'm a big enough unit, and I was in the little Peugeot 206, right? So when you walked out, I walked out to the two Garda on the bikes behind us, and I tipped one man's shoulder and said, I'm just going in behind the bus there, if that's all right. I'm the add-on. And your man started laughing. We were cracking up about it. It was hilarious.
Oh, it's brilliant. Great crack, though.
Great day, great weather, everything.
I have to say, Tommy Mulhall, I actually said it that night. Stephen Kelly, myself and Stephen started this journey about 6 months ago. And then Stephen was diagnosed with cancer. and he's in hospital going through the mills, God love him, and he's with our thoughts. He's in our thoughts. Oh, I made his young lad captain on the day, but I said it that night when I asked Tom to come in to give me a hand. I couldn't. He was just unbelievable. He really was exceptional. He done 99% of everything. I just kind of delegated, but that's Thomas's quality, where he just is an unbelievable guy. And I told him, I'm in his debt. He was just incredible. I would have been lost without him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a top lad, Tom. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's class.
Right. So when one ends, we move on to a few more. So joining us tonight, of course, Terry. Give us a rundown, Terry. Wexford, the beautiful place that it is when the weather shines. It looks like you're going to have brilliant weather on Friday as well.
It is, yeah.
But talk to us.
Well, Wexford Celtic are actually the oldest club in Wexford Town. They were started off in 1968. And I became involved about 40-something years ago with them, coming on and whatever. So we're about 2 miles outside of town. And basically we have a ground. We're the first club in the county probably to buy our own ground in 1988, right? But we share 11.5 acres with an athletics club. But we have a full grass pitch, but we need an astro pitch. That's simply the way, or you'll die. Do you know what I mean? That it's just people are passing you by and all. So this is our big, for the next 2 years, we're going to do a bit of fundraising. We've got planning permission for an astro pitch. And so now we're trying to raise the initial deposit, obviously we're going through sports grants, capital grants and all that type of thing. And we depend on that as well. But you need a certain amount, 40, 50 grand you need to have it to put it to the when you're putting in for the loan or whatever, or the grant boat, I suppose. And that's what we're doing. So this is our first fundraiser, really. So it's the Legends fundraiser. So we started off with Man United, and actually we're lucky enough now because United are in the final with another Eustace team called Spurs, who are my team, by the way. But I was hoping that United would get to the final, by the way. So it's the battle of the two lessers, I suppose you could say. And then we get to the one will qualify for the Champions League, which is hard to believe, which would be great for me because Arsenal will go spared that they qualified for the Champions League and they won nothing. And that means we would have won the Champions League. So quid's in. So whatever. Right. So we're hoping to have, we got a good sponsor of Driscoll's, their whiskey, and they put up the money for the initial bit. So then on the advice of Tony and stuff like that, we're following sort of certain things, trying to advertise and stuff like that, publicize it, So we'll see what happens. If it goes well, we'll do something else, in October or something. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think the last time, Tony, we had the two boys together. Remember, we were out in Maynooth, for that pre-night for that event. That was some night, wasn't it? Peter Boyle was there as well. It was a heck of a night. Crazy.
Was that the two guys? Was it Brian and
yeah, it was Brian and Wes. Yeah, it was Brian and Wes. Yeah, very, very good.
It was very good. They are very good together. In fairness, they're a right double act.
Yeah.
But brilliant. I have to say they were brilliant.
I have a little angle on this because we have a player, and we two international players over the years, two schoolboys internationals, not full. And one was called Kieran Ling, and the other guy is called Tim McGrath. And Tim played for Ireland on the 15 team in 1996, 97, maybe 5. And they played England in Talca, and they beat England 2-0. And on the English team was Wes Brown centre half, and what's his name up front for Liverpool?
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen up front, yeah. And the two of them were playing, and Tim was playing centre half for Wexford, or for Ireland. And Ireland beat them 2-0. So they have met before, so I'm introduced. They don't know I'm doing this, so they probably won't hear this anyway, but maybe they will. But I'll try and get Tim. Tim is a very quiet chap, but I'll try and shock him on the night and introduce him to the two boys,
No?
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, that'd be very good. So Terry, tickets available, Wexford Celtic FC Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook, Wexford Celtic FC. And I don't really want to give a phone. My phone number will do as well. Ring me and I'll sort things out. I'm not sure about the things, but we are on Wexford Celtic Facebook.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll have the link to that down in the description.
Yeah, that's exactly it, because they can get tickets through this. It's a new app we have, and it's great because they can get tickets and bring them on the night. Like, it's great.
Yeah, perfect.
That's the future, I'm afraid.
That should be a great night. Brian McClare is great for the stories as well, isn't he? Without Shockey.
They're a serious
nuts.
double act. Talking
Yeah.
about Tony, talking about contrasting styles.
Yeah, look, and
All our
that's
mistakes the way they are now.
yeah. Oh, I don't think what game, Mark, we done where there was questions from the floor. All the 10 legends were at the dinner table, let's say. Excuse me, and you're going to ask questions from the floor. And McClare took the mic and he said, lads, I'm just going to answer for everyone.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
have a question for you,
yeah,
I'm going to answer it.
yeah. I think that was it. Was that Ballyfermot? Was that in the Clayton Hotel in Liffey Valley? And then he ripped the mick out of Chris Eagles and all for his eyebrows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nah,
He's brilliant.
He's different gravy, that's for sure.
He could be
different
a stand-up
gravy.
comedian. He's just so dry
Oh,
and witty. It's
100%.
unbelievable.
Yeah. And you know, on point as well.
Yeah.
On call, like he doesn't have to rehearse anything, and it's just he can put it out there. Very, very good. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Terry, that's great. Listen, we'll keep on promoting it there and all. And what I'll do is I'll have a link down in the description to the Wexford Facebook page as well and all that kind of stuff if people want to get tickets and all. And we'll mention again Thursday night. We'll do it again because we have a show on Thursday, and we'll bring up the slide again, mention again, and put the link out there and everything for it.
I must watch your program. I never really heard about it. I'm not very good on line and all that, But
yeah, it's on YouTube. We're on
YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. We do football shows, and occasionally we do watch-alongs and special shows and interviews and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, so that was good crack.
Okay, no problem.
So there you go.
Tony,
Tony,
what's going on, Terry?
Here's Terry.
Okay, forget about this. Yeah.
Browner, just going back to the weekend. Can I just say one name and just let me know Mel Sterling? What a legend he is.
Oh my God.
What a character he is, man.
You're muted there, Tony. You're on mute, Tony.
Oh, he's on mute. Oh, he must have lost his voice after all the shouting the weekend. All the singing on the bus.
You back?
I can't hear you. No. You did unmute and I'm muted back. Maybe go out the link, Brown, or come back in. And sometimes that happens with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens with me as well.
Come back in.
Big
up, Stephen. Hope you're good, pal. Thanks for joining us.
You know remember you were talking to Stephen on Saturday, the physio.
That's right. Yeah.
Mr. Weaver.
Yeah.
Hope you're keeping well. He was slagging me for having to duck off early, so I didn't hear the end of it,
Morris is in. Those fucking AirPods still be a disaster with StreamYard. Tell him to ditch them. There you go.
Is that what it is? Is it? Is it
sometimes, yeah. They drop the connection sometimes and stuff like that. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Savage 2-2 draw on Sunday. It was. Don't worry, Morris. We'll be talking about it. We have.
Do you know what's mad? Terry, sorry, just something came into my head. Terry was obviously talking about the pitch. The Astro. I think were you there, cuz when we were talking to the Playgrounds man, and he was saying about how much they save a year with the new Astro win. Like it's crazy, isn't it? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So
back, Tony. Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, all good. Sometimes it's those AirPods, Tony. Sometimes they just
could be. Yeah,
but Mel Sterling, Browner.
Yeah, he's mad. He's mad. You know what? He never stopped hugging me and kissing me. He goes, "This is unbelievable. This is mad. But." It's just impulsive, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you see him in the pub with the top off, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And we were always, because the first time at Leeds, you're going, house is going to go down. And then I just sat there that night going, oh my God, this is brilliant. And the way they walk into the hall, they're all dancing in with their points. I was like, you know what I mean?
Really, that's all he wanted to do. He said he was looking forward to a dance that night. Obviously, he was on the tonic water for the day. He was an absolute gent to talk to as well,
Yeah, 82 years of age, boys. My God.
Incredible. But yeah, but Mel's everyone's best mate, isn't he? That's how I can describe him. Loves
the flip-flops. Yeah, the flip-flops. Hold on.
I walked him from the stadium down to the coach, where we were parked. And kept saying, when are we coming back? When are we coming back? I was like, see Tony for details. But he was great.
Yesterday morning, sure, I didn't get to bed till 2, let's say, and I put the alarm on for 7:30. I went down to get jerseys signed, right, for the sponsors. And Mel was there. This is at 8 o'clock. And he says, "Can I get a brandy now?" I said, "No, you can't. Just get some juice into your water." All right, all right. And when we coming back, I said, "Look, it's something down the road, wherever. We have to come back." The lads, they're all buzzing. They're all buzzing. It was just funny, you know what I mean?
So we got into the change room, Brown, and we got there, and Mel come over to me, he goes, "Will you get me a drink?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I think Browners getting the water." No, he goes, "I want a drink." So I had to go out to the lads. And remember I said, well, you were there, Coles, weren't you? I was like, I have to get Mel a drink. He wants to go in and just tease the lads with a pint in his hand, you know? Brilliant. But a special mention for Jermaine Beckford, who spent an hour on the pitch after with everyone and chatting away and taking pictures with everyone. He was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's incredible. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Lovely guy, I have to say. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think all the lads were great on the day, weren't they? They were all having a great time and all. And that's the way you want it.
And as well, Browner, I said it to Colin on Saturday. Did you see Airfield are getting a temporary stand-in for the Legends game?
Yeah. I was at the launch game there. We done it with PJ Gallagher a couple of weeks ago. I had all the trophies out, your trophies, and the whole place was carnage out there, right, in the Hilton. And the main guy says to me, "Keith Brown, you're not going to believe this. We're out to get Mattress Mick to sponsor the stand, right?" I said, "What?" He said, "You know, the mobile stands," because I was kind of against it. I said, "It might take away." But then when I went out, I walk out on the north side, so I went out to the ground. I was walking around, and I said, "You know what? This is actually going to work." That game has unbelievable potential. Yeah, I think that's going to be absolutely bedlam out there. Like they have a serious team playing up there as well for the Premiership Legend. Like the back five is David James in goal, Ian Hart is left full, Stephen Carr's right full, Yap, Sam and Wes Brown. There's your back five. I mean, that's the yeah. And Ian Hart said to me yesterday, we're going back in the taxi. He goes, "Brown, how long have we played Yap Sam? A couple of weeks. Can't wait," he says. He said he's still serious about it. You know what I mean?
And he's got a cracker on Saturday as well. I think, Noel, you got
it. Yeah, the video's up there in the channel, Yeah, I've loads of stuff to send on to you, Tony, as well. Yeah, so
please do. Yeah, please. Thank you.
And Cillian Petrov's playing in that as well, Brown, isn't he?
Petrov's playing in it. I think McAteer's playing in it. Jermaine Pennant. Jermaine Beckford's playing in it. And who else? Poborski.
Karol Poborski, yeah. I think, they've two more. They've the two forwards they announced, haven't they, as well?
Yeah. So it's a similar team to the Belfast event. Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
That's next Saturday, isn't it? I think Wes is at that and stuff, and Petrov, and a few YouTubers and local sportsmen and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, the charity up there is a mental health charity. I met Mickey Mean there. Says we done the game a couple of years ago, a Man United Legends against, I think it was Cliftonville, but it was all again like that. A few guests, and it was great fun. It was Yap's first game, and I've never seen the man so nervous because he said, "I don't know what to expect out here because when you play for United in these charity games, you're picked up, brought to the ground. You might have a beer, and you're straight back." Now I said, "Yap, you're going to get kids thrown on your lap. You're going to be up close and personal after the game. When is the next one? You know, this is brilliant." He loved it. So that's how we wrote them in, you know. But,
look, this Weaver lad trying to wind me up. Like Matt Kilgallen asked for a little soft touch. I was about to boot the ball into the railway track, but you wanted a little soft touch, and I couldn't take the man down then because I knew Ian Morgan would try to send me off.
Stephen, I was told not to mention it. I was under orders. I have the video.
I never said it.
He says, "Cuz, please don't release that. That'll be in the extras."
I never said anything. We never said it.
We thought the sniper was out, didn't we, Mark?
Yeah, that's it.
We thought the sniper. We're looking for the red dot.
I never seen a neck disappear so quick and a set of shoulders come up on the wall.
You want to see the bruise on my ankle from that bloody Astro? I sent Noel the picture, and then after, you know, the save I made from the 1-on-1, bleeding burnt on the knee and all. I think Adam was the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gordon Banks, the lads are calling. Huh?
Another word I'd say they were using, all right.
Yeah, more like Christy Brown on my left foot. Let me save the pen over the head.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was great though. Brilliant crack, I have to say.
He knows. Marco, my ma's anniversary next year in March. What about a charity game to raise a few quid for cancer and a charity of your choice? Yeah,
It's definitely
get in
something
touch
you
with
look
Mark
into,
and Tony, and we
100%,
can look
yeah.
into. We can talk about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Or something for that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
then we
Yeah, so
did-
Tony, talk us through them coming up May 24th, which is probably the next one on the calendar after Friday, isn't it? That's the one up in Belfast.
Yeah, the one in Belfast, again, similar to the team that are playing in Airfield, that's for a mental health charity. As I said, they do unbelievable work up there because suicide affects everyone. And I have to say, the lads up there, the first time I met them, I was just so impressed. And their attention to detail, and you can get sponsors, and they come back, want to do another one, Browner. So there's a few more names to be announced of that, and believe me, they will be massive when they come out. They're being released on Friday. I'm sworn to secrecy. I'll get my kids back on Friday if I keep my mouth shut, I was told. So but it's going to be a cracker. People are in for a surprise, a massive surprise up there, and it's going to be brilliant. I have to say, the lads up in the north, similar, to ourselves. They know how to put on a show, and they're good lads, good committee, well organised, and I just hope people get out to support it because it is a different event with the Premiership 11. You're trying to keep everyone happy, but it'd be a good team as well.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. I've seen some of the special guests they have. Like I said, some of the YouTubers and local sportsmen, boxers and stuff like that. Looks going to be a great day.
Paddy Barnes and all, yeah. Paddy Barnes is in there, isn't he? Yeah, that should be pretty cool. I'd like to see Paddy Barnes square up against Jap Slam now.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
Picking the child, Paddy played. Did he play in the one in Warren Point, I think? And I said to him, I just think you should stick to boxing, kid. Brutal.
What was the response?
Well, I thought he was going to burst me. But do you know what it was like? Do you remember when you were kids picking the teams on the road? There's always one kid left at the end. That's Paddy. That'd be Paddy Barnes. A lovely fella, in fairness to him. And he gives a lot up there.
Yeah.
He does an awful lot for charity, and he's brilliant with the crowd. I have to say, he's like Alan Kennedy. He'd walk around every single one of the crowd,
brilliant,
an autograph or a photo. That's what you want. And that's why these events work, lads, because it is up close and personal.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like Tony Morris wants to know, can you get Igor Stepanovs over? Legend of that 6-1 game.
I tell you, a lot of people ask me about Arsenal players. Any chance of getting Arsenal players over,
Would you believe we have one of the best Arsenal Legends teams ever, and we could never get them a game in this country? You're talking about maybe 5 or 6 of the invincible side. Perez, Campbell, Parler. Couldn't get them a game.
Jeez.
And we tried. We even went after Ray for these games, Ray Parler, and he was working. We couldn't get him.
Hammered tonight he is. Hammered.
Jesus.
I thought we were all friends on the day.
He's firing me here.
Well, you were going up getting them coffees and all sorts of stuff.
That's it. I tell you.
Parla will do it for a few beers.
Yeah, what's the Romford Pele? Isn't that what they call him? The Romford Pele. But that'd be a good day. I think I've seen your man John Nealis, the YouTuber that does all the football videos. He brought that fan into Anfield and all. He's meant to be up there and stuff like that, so it should be a good day. Yeah, and then obviously Airfield after that, Browner, and then Dundalk in July, isn't it? 12th of July, Saturday, 12th of July. Oh, I think you're gone there again, Browner. I think the head. Or is it mine? Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. It's the AirPods.
AirPods. Steve, get me off of this now.
Sally, 100%.
I'm always throwing these notes on Saturday. Getting coffee. Yeah.
Wait and see, does he come back?
Sorry, boys.
He's back.
That's the last time I'll buy AirPods off a lucky man. Tenerife.
Wayne Lineker outside the bar.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Airfield's going to be a cracker. That's a real community event. And anyone that knows the pitch out there, it's just so tight, and they have everything organised. They're brilliant, I have to say. And the game then in July is with Rock United, which is a village up in just outside Dundalk. I was up there this morning. I met the lads. They're all hanging because Loud won yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
So they are absolutely hanging. Every shop I went into, and then I met the boys, and it's just like we're only getting 6:30, Browner. Jesus, at 10 o'clock. But
you're like you, Mel Sterling, do you?
What's that? Yeah, Mel. We met Mel Sterling in the airport. We brought him back. No, no, they're well ahead of schedule. I think we've 9 players booked for them, and we're just waiting on one more. So they've a very good United team going up there. People will be impressed. So that will be a great event up there. So there's 6 businessmen up there, and any money they raise goes back into the community up there in Blackrock.
Damn.
So it's similar to the game we done in Athenry, Mark. Were you at that one?
I wasn't at that one.
Yeah,
that was the one I missed last year.
Yeah, it's a real community.
That was a great one.
Yeah, and they're way ahead as well as schedule. So yeah, it'll be good. And then I'm already getting calls about next year, which I'm just laughing. A fella come to the table the other night, and I was having dinner, and he goes, "How you doing? I'm from Galway. Can we do a Leeds game?" I said, "Give it a week or two and ring me."
Yeah.
The old alcohol is talking.
Yeah, because you're in the buzz of the whole day, and you're like, yeah, and then you have to let the dust settle and the reality hit, and then go from there.
This is the end result. You haven't seen the previous 6 months.
Yeah.
Phone calls like myself and Thomas. My missus thought I was having an affair with Thomas. I was talking more to him than I was to her. You know what I mean? And it was like I was on the phone to him today about 4 times. He's going on holidays in the morning at 7 o'clock. So we're trying to tie up loose ends and everything else,
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it is what it is. And then it's hard work, but then you get to the next one, go, right, this is why we do it. And then you see with Saturday with Tony coming out in the wheelchair, just emotional,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Class job. But that's what we did, Mark.
That's it, man. That's it. No, it was very well run. Like you say, I think you said it before. We've never had a bit of rain at any of the games. We got the weather for it. It was a brilliant day. I think was there about 1,500 at the game or something, Browner?
I think I got a count 1,701 on one. Okay. Right.
That was Niall.
But look, there you go. Like the weather, we had a few walk-ins. A feel-good factor. Have a coffee, a beer, whatever you want. It was just, and there's a bit of crack as well on the pitch.
Yeah.
The lads trying to roll back the years. Our lads, the brother lads. I wouldn't mind when I was doing the tops. Mark, you ordering the tops for the lads.
Yeah.
Few of them. I'm only a large Browner, and they looked like something out of Village People. Time they got the tops, the belly, wearing the caner.
I think Alan McHugh was slagging one of the lads. He goes, "Is that next on you? Is it?"
Yeah.
Or can I just say,
what did he say to him? I'm glad I told him to get XL for you.
Yeah. But can I just say as well, Browner, Ian Morris, what a goal!
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You won't see any better all season. Like top corner.
I don't even think the ball. You know, we hit a shot and the ball spins. It just went zoom.
Yeah.
Top corner.
And we were at the angle on the bench where we were right, it was perfect angle to see it just fizz into the top right hand corner.
Funny enough, there wasn't a bad goal all day.
No,
there wasn't. All the goals are classic.
Ian Hart's free kick was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carlton was mad. We were at the meet and greet, and I looked over because he'd asked me for a pint of Guinness, and then Mac Elgannon was like, "You have a Guinness? I'll have a Guinness as well." I was like, "Great." I came back down. 2 fans had bought Parma a shot of baby Guinness. So
yeah,
any time I went back down to him, was like, "Get us a shot." I was like, "You can't." So when we got back to the hotel, then we went over to him and he goes, "Order 10 baby Guinness." Order 10 baby Guinness, put it in front of him. He started handing them out, so he's brilliant. Great.
It was gas to see the 3 boys on the pitch, Carlton and Beckford and Ross McCormick. They were having their own little competition between the 3 of themselves as well. It was gas giving each other shots.
In some shape. He's nearly 60 or something like that.
He told me he runs every day because he said to me, "You're into fitness, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do a bit." He says, every day, 5 miles, 5 miles. And he's 60 now. Is it next month?
Jeez, he's
Yeah.
mad. Some Nick, man.
Yeah, he's in great form.
I was so impressed. Actually, the pictures I printed out, he actually looked older than when I
Yeah,
actually
from back in
seen
the
him.
day.
Remember when we were talking to him and getting the picture signed?
Yeah.
They're actually, I'll tell you who's over in July in the Camden. Is I only found out today. Jermaine Beckford's over with Tony Dorigo and Andy Cousins. So that's in July. I said to the lads, we'll try and get the lads back in for the crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Camden is a great spot as well.
Yeah. The Leeds fan club go there, don't they, or something like that? Yeah.
We were there a couple of weeks ago with the women trying to flog tickets. You know what I mean? Well, that's what I'm telling the girls to wear low-cut tops, so then not going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
A few of the lads were wearing them on Saturday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, there, Mark, on Saturday, and I'm still getting phone calls. The actual tops that we had.
I was asked that several times, were they on sale? Yep.
Yeah.
People ask me, Brown, some guy rang me now, lad. How are you? I was talking to you Saturday. Yeah. Can I get a top 30 quid? So I said, look, we might order someone, just give them out.
Lawrence Fella was asking were they on sale, wasn't he?
He was looking for one as well, Paul. Yeah, absolutely.
Who was
looking for them? Paul, who was with me, Lauren's boyfriend.
Yeah.
His daughter's boyfriend. They're lovely. They were beautiful. Like, they were really nice.
And you know, I'm a fan, as you know, right? And my young lad texts me from New Zealand, Dad, what's the story with the Leeds top? I said, it's not. It's the Borough Legends top. It's just the colour, Leeds colours. Yeah. Get me lacquer over it. He did, he should be wearing that.
Well, I got him the Ian Hart shorts anyway. Do you remember we were leaving on the bus and all the kids legging out with the shorts?
They're all wearing the Borough Legends tops like a dress down. All the kids wearing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a bit of crack, and everyone had a good time, and that's what you're trying to get memories from it. And the whole thing was to celebrate Tony's life in football because he's still ahead of him, and then to raise a few quid. And he actually said to me, the money okay, but what a day. He says, I couldn't stop this. And he was so emotional, and he's so down to earth, Tony. At home, I
think Thomas said when we were on the bus on the way back that he was with the ball in the wheelchair at the goal and stuff like that, and with the kids on the pitch after and stuff, and just memories, like, you know what I mean, like that you can't buy, like, and seeing him coming out with the two teams lined either side and him coming out and all the fans clapping and stuff like that, it was just brilliant. It was immense, like,
deserved that and more, if I'm being honest. Especially going back to his old club. Definitely he deserved it, and it was for the family too. That's a roller coaster for them.
Absolutely.
On the video when he was in Donnybrook Hospital, and it was tough, and I said, no, that's it. So but the Batman signed out and got the lads, let's go and try and help him out,
Brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a lovely moment actually when both sets of players and all officials and all were lined up, and then he came down the middle of it. Was spectacular. It was really, really nice. Like, it was cool. And as you said, the emotions were running. They certainly were. So, but great day had by all, and nothing but positive feedback from it. Everyone had a great time. Paul, I have to say, was blown away by it. He says, "Tell me every time there's a Legends game and let me know." And he says, "Doesn't matter who was playing. He said he had a brilliant day, fantastic day, and stuff like that."
I said that before, Noel. Many a time on this show, where it doesn't matter what team you support, when you go out to these events, whether you're supporting the club that are doing it or a charity or whatever, right? It just seems to work. You know what I mean? And it's just a big feel-good factor. And the fact you can meet these guys up close, and brilliant. When you think you're meeting at the meet and greet, you're meeting 10 of these players for 20 quid, whatever. Some people paying 5, maybe 400 quid, Larson or whatever, coming over.
Cantona.
Cantona's up here beside me in a couple of weeks. I think the cheapest ticket is 300 quid.
That's crazy, isn't it? Like,
madness. Yeah, it's madness. But so listen, great day had by all. Brilliant job by everyone involved and the usual and all. Tony, pleasure having you on as always, pal.
Thanks, lads.
Keep in touch. Let us know if you need that, and of course we'll keep on promoting the stuff on the the Monday and the Thursday. As
Well,
things
you might
happen.
have to come on next Monday and you can talk about the 2 players that are getting announced on Friday for the Belfast game if you fancy
maybe
it.
next Monday come on and do the announcement and all and stuff like that. We'll keep it under wraps.
Royalty. You know what I mean?
I'm kicking myself. I'm missing it, but
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Man, that's what you do. Home hoovering, kids.
Something there about hoovering the house. Yeah, something there about hoovering the house. All right. There you go.
He says to me, "No, I go to Belfast to paint the gaff and have a communion and clean the windows." I said, for fuck.
As Steve Kelly said, I'm rocking the free world that Saturday. I'm rocking the free world.
Yeah.
Offered up the house. What can you do?
I'll never hear the end of it from Stephen Weaver. You want to hear it
on
Saturday?
That's it. It's in here now.
That's it.
You should have said nothing on the day. You should have said you were gone.
Yeah, then last minute. No.
And then last minute. Just let Tony know, yeah.
No, I'll be there at Airfield and Belfast or Dundalk.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, Tony, pleasure. We'll keep in touch with you, pal. Thanks.
Take care. Thank you.
Cheers, Browner. Cheers, pal.
Bye-bye.
Now, where do we begin? Premier League. Now we can get into the meat and gravy of this. Morris, you're absolutely spot on. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You want to say, Morris, I don't know if you've seen the video on the page, the free kick he took, rolling back the years. My God. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Yeah. And not only that, no one else was taking that free kick by him. That was for sure.
No, Ross McCormick was standing over who can also hit one, but he was hitting that one all day long the way it was.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Right, where do we begin? We don't need to get into too much of this because we want to talk about other stuff as well. But Aston Villa with a big win over Bournemouth in that chase for that run-in, of course, which is huge.
Good win for Everton as well. Away to Fulham, particularly after going 1-0 down very early on in the game, and they got back into it. And I think wasn't in that game, it was the Darren England. He went over to the screen and he didn't change his mind about the penalty decision. Wasn't that in that game?
That's right. Yeah.
Which I have to say, hands up, fair play. You know, we see a lot of the time. The minute a referee walks over to the monitor, we just assume he's going to change his mind. So no, he stuck with it, and fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. R.I.P. Seville. Yeah, we're doing a show tomorrow night, folks. 8:30, I think we're on. Ian says he's going to hopefully come on as well. Bren will be on, and the two Seans and all. And we're going to do our usual kind of show as well, but we're going to dedicate a lot of the show, hopefully, to Seville's career and his life and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to come on, if you want to share any thoughts, if you met him at a meet and greet, whatever it is, if you want to share your thoughts, let us know. Tomorrow at 8:30, Pro Wrestling Weekly. Mainly a look back at Seville's career, but we'll also touch on Raw and on Backlash and everything else. We'll squeeze it all in as we always do. But very sad, hardcore legend. Southampton nil, Man City nil. A slight little dent on top 5, but not much.
Yeah, look, in fairness, you look at it and they didn't break Derby's record, so it was a massive point for them as well. It was a great win. They frustrated City. They defended very, very well in numbers. De Bruyne, some would say, was lucky to stay in the pitch with the tackle. And yeah, City just looked frustrated, and fair play to Southampton. It was a big point. It's funny how, when the teams, you look at Leicester as well against Forest, the minute they get relegated, it's like a kind of a weight is lifted off their shoulder and they can just kind of play whatever way they want because there's not really on the line. The kind of was for, obviously, Southampton wanted to reach the 12 points or whatever, but it was a great point for them in the end. Yeah,
absolutely. But Sunday is really where all the action kind of happened, and we've a lot to talk about here. Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0. Nicholas Jackson getting sent off, getting a red card, which kind of paved way to it at 1-0. Newcastle had scored early, and then they kind of sealed it late on with a deflected Bruno Guimaraes shot. But Chelsea down to 10 men nearly looked a better prospect in the second half than they did first half.
They did, yeah. Sometimes it's one of those weird ones, like you face it. We have, if you're playing against 10 men, it's almost harder at times, that sort of way. And obviously the early sending off changes the game. Newcastle, I thought, probably done enough overall anyway to get away with the 3 points, and Pope pulled off some really good saves, particularly towards the end as well. So massive win for them to keep that push on. And for Chelsea, yeah, they're going to be That be Jackson out for now the last few games, won't they? Suspension. Obviously, they won't appeal it, will they? Or will they?
I don't think you get out off the appeal anyway, would you really?
No, I don't think so. So
yeah, no,
it's I was expecting more out of Chelsea, but I thought they did all right in the second half, given obviously 10 men, you know.
Yeah, and now big 2 games coming up for Chelsea. At the Bridge against yourselves, no doubt you'll rest players, or at least you should.
Yeah.
But we will talk about that. And then the last day, the last game of the season, we have Chelsea and Nottingham Forest, which hopefully becomes a decider for the top 5. Because I was thinking of doing a watch along for it on the day, which could be interesting. Morris, if you're free to come on, you're welcome to come on tomorrow night if you want. I can send you a link, or if you want to send me on some of them, I'll put a slide together for you if you want for the show, whichever suits. But you're welcome on. Yeah, Philip, absolutely. ECW original. So many of them gone now. It's sad, you know.
What age was he? He wouldn't have been that old.
He was 60 on the button, as far as I know. He was at WrestleCon a few weeks ago in Las Vegas.
Was he ill or was he?
I'm not too sure. I haven't gone fully into it yet.
Okay,
I didn't want to dig that deep yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I know there was some health issues and stuff like that. But we'll see. But he was at WrestleCon there 3 weeks ago in Vegas. So yeah, Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester 2. Not a very happy owner.
No, some game.
Talk to me.
Yeah,
ran onto the pitch, wasn't happy at all. Apparently, he was making a beeline for the ref in relation to the Awoni injury, and Nuno stopped him. So by Nuno kind of stopping him, he got the wrath of what was being said, basically. You know,
I think Nuno done the right thing, obviously, and for the owner to come onto the pitch like he does, like you're not, Olympiacos now where things are done different, maybe, there's certain kind of etiquette that you have to follow as an owner of a football club. Initially, when I seen it, I thought he was having a go at Nuno, after dropping points to Leicester, already relegated Leicester, and obviously Forest have exceeded the expectation this season already where they are, and Nuno has done a fantastic job with them and playing a certain brand of football, and they've been excellent. So then when I read it after and I heard he was going for the referee, it kind of eased it a bit, but it's not a good look for the club in general,
No. Yeah, and by getting that point, they actually sailed European football, at least.
100%,
which is huge for them as well. But I think what happens is when you've been in that top 4, top 5 for that period of time, you're kind of banking. There's been a drop off there from Forest, no doubt, over the last, say, 6 weeks. Where they really should have cemented the top 4, top 5, really, in some of the results they dropped. So there's obviously a bit of frustration there as well. I get it. And I get it. He's an owner, I wouldn't condone it going in like that, and it's not a good look, and it doesn't help players either, and all that kind of stuff and all that. But I can get the frustration when you think when you're so close, you can taste it. It's just there, and and it's Leicester as well. And no disrespect to Leicester, but they're basically on the beach, So Forest really should have won this game. Really.
Well, Leicester kind of played with a freedom, knowing that there was not much on the line, that sort of way. They scored some good goals. Obviously, Cody scored at the Cells. And by the way, I dressed as the Forest owner tonight, just as a little mark of respect, But Cells had another great game in goal for Forest, as he has done all season as well. So,
any difference in the size?
No, same size. As you've seen with that jersey on Saturday.
It wasn't bad now. It wasn't bad.
Wasn't too bad. Do you know what? I was off everything for Lent, and the last few weeks I've gone a bit mad back on the chocolate and the sharing bags.
You were by no means the most unfittest or biggest lad on the pitch anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah. No,
there was plenty ahead of you.
For some of the up and coming games, I plan on getting a lot fitter,
There you go. So you can whip the top off and you save the panels.
Yeah, that's it. That's
it. Man United 0, West Ham 2. What did you make of this? A lot of talk coming out of this. A lot of talk from Amran after the game as well. Talking about the Europa League and the importance of it, the final and all, and that it's not the be all and end all, that there's a lot of work to be done at the club and all this kind of thing. And coming out with that, you could see his disappointment after the game as well. A lot of these guys on the beach didn't try a jot a week and a half out from a final. You know what I mean? It's not a good look.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I was expecting him to make a few more changes than he did. I thought you might have thrown a few of the young lads in there, given what's left of the season. But when I seen the team, I was like, Jesus, yeah, no, it's a fairly strong team. Coming up against West Ham, I was quietly confident we could even get a point from it. And if in this season for us, that's not too bad. But yeah, we were just
try get the magical 40.
Yeah, exactly. I never thought I'd be saying that on this program, but yeah, I was really disappointed. Obviously, it was my daughter's George's birthday on Thursday, so we went to Play Zone yesterday, and we came back just in time for the match. And my mom's a West Ham fan, so obviously she was here watching it with myself and my dad and all. And yeah, it was very frustrating to watch. Just at the back, we're at 6s and 7s at times. There's no contingency. I think by in there, obviously coming in. Onana, all I've seen was he was rested. I don't know if anyone can elaborate on it, but that's all I've seen, but that he was being rested. But yeah, I would have expected him a lot more than us. But fair play to West Ham. They played really good football at times, and good little goal by Souček and Bowen as well. So yeah, just it's been a frustrating season, and as I've said on this program before, the season was a write-off in December, January. We were looking to win a trophy, and all our energy now goes into that final next Wednesday, with obviously a Champions League spot and a trophy up for grabs. So yeah,
Morris,
just frustrating.
Morris, of course you can't talk about his record. 100%. You can talk about his record.
Do you know what? Morris, we said it here last week as well. He didn't get a full preseason. He came in October. He was thrown in the deep end by the owners. We've had a lot of injuries this season, particularly at the back as well, where he's had to change it around a lot. And of course, listen, I know every team used to have missing Saka at times and stuff like that, but we have had a hell of a lot of injuries, but no, it still hasn't been good enough. Absolutely not. As a club, we set the bar fairly high for ourselves, and it just seems to have sunk to a new low this season. But listen, we're still in the final of the Europa League next Wednesday, and Champions League place up for grabs. So
might have to do a watch along for that as well.
What's he say? Come on now. For what?
He's waiting for you to give us that hammer now.
No. Listen, I'm giving them the full pre-season, the transfer window, and say 10 games into the season, if things still aren't going well, that's when questions will be asked for me. But for the team that struggled, we've reached 5 finals in the last few seasons. So do you know what I mean?
In saying that now, would that not replicate the mistake? And I'm not saying you should sack him either, but if you go that way and he's 3-4-3, the likelihood is he's going to spend 200 million plus in the summer on players for his system. If you roll the dice on that system and that system doesn't work, and after say 10, 15 games, whatever it is, things aren't looking good, he potentially goes out the door. What do you then do with his group of players? And what's the likelihood that you bring in a manager that plays 3-4-3?
That's a risk you take, isn't it? It's tough. The way football is nowadays, it's all about systems, and it. Yeah, listen, I don't think anyone would disagree with that, but I don't think it won't
the whole
happen.
team. Everything should be sacked.
It won't happen. But yeah, no, it's kind of like I said. He needs to get his own players in terms of a full preseason as well with them. It's been tough this season, but there has been times it's been frustrating because as a fan of any team, if something's not working, you change it around, and that's what's happened at times. I'm like, why doesn't he just switch it around to try pick up points instead of trying to implement this system? But it's something he's passionate about, so we have to give him obviously we give him time, but we have to give him more time with players that he knows can play in that system instead of wedging players in that are just there that we have already on the books.
Would you be concerned about his kind of level of individual coaching that you're saying? Like, you see Hoyland has regressed, Garnacho's kind of regressed, Mainu, if you look at Mainu yesterday, you would have to say he's regressed. Now we know he's kind of played Mainu in a 6, an 8, a 10. He's kind of brought him all over the place.
Yeah, and he's not long back. Obviously, he was injured for quite some time as well, and he's only kind of getting back into it now. The last 4 or 5 games. Like last season we had Benny McCarthy, and the season before in there as a striker coach, and obviously things were going well, and and Ruben came in and got rid of him. So yeah, listen, he's using the brand of football and the style he used in Portugal to obviously to win the leagues and stuff as he had done.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, but like I said, I'm not judging him till he gets that full preseason and transfer window to do the things he's like. Ericsson's going to be gone. Lindelof is gone. All these players are gone. So it'd be interesting to see who gets in and this. He knows what type of player he wants. You know, we couldn't do much in January, obviously. So I'm looking forward to this summer.
Yeah, I said it last week. The magnitude of this match next Wednesday is gigantic. I've never seen a Europa League final that carries so much weight on it for Man United in terms of getting the Champions League as a draw card for players in, the additional funding and the money that it releases to Amarin in the window and all those. This is massive for United. And not even in terms of those things are so much more important than Man United fans going, it's another European trophy because it's the Europa League. But winning trophies is great. You know what I mean? But still, I think the surrounding of this in terms of the jeopardy on it, that if it didn't happen, whatever about losing and then having to face, Spurs and handing them silverware and all that kind of thing and dealing with that banter would have to be dealt with. But in terms of, if you look at just United in isolation, and apart from winning the European trophy, to getting into that Champions League from where you are in the league, to getting into that Champions League, getting that money, having that draw power for players. Like I read even today, with Liam Delap being heavily linked with us and stuff like that. And they were saying, yeah, United in talks with Liam Delap, heavily linked with him, blah, 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 pending Champions League. And you're just there going, listen, kid, you're a guy in an Ipswich team that got relegated. You know what I mean? Those kind of demands are insane, but that just goes to show what players think.
Yeah.
Cunha's the same. He wants to step up from Wolves. So the step up has to mean European football and stuff like that. So it's absolutely massive, But you can see his demeanor's tough as well. Yeah, I don't think he realised what he was stepping into. And it sounds of stories coming out as well that even Ratcliffe and the Glazers are at loggerheads over that interview that he did.
I've heard about that, all right. But listen, it's been a shitstorm behind the scenes for the last few years, so it hasn't gotten any better,
Yeah, United haven't beaten Spurs since 2022, apparently, Morris.
2022?
Mark, tell us how you really feel.
Go away with that, Morris.
I said it last week as well. I remember with Dino as well, the thoughts of losing to them in the European final. Good Lord.
I know, yeah. It kills you.
I think Ange is going regardless of the result. Do you think? Interesting.
Ange. It'd be interesting. Obviously, the fans are very frustrated at the minute as well with him and stuff. They have been for a while with some of the results and stuff. So
surely you couldn't sack him after a trophy, though. Good Lord. I bet he wishes he got that West Ham job now.
That's it. So look at Moisey. Moisey's been doing wonders since he left West Ham.
Yeah. Look at how happy Potter was yesterday. You swear he won a cup or something. He was so happy on the pitch.
He's kind of gone under the radar with West Ham, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Then we had Spurs 0, Crystal Palace 2. Crystal Palace gone from strength to strength. FA Cup coming up as well, and we're going to get everyone's thoughts on that as well. And then Liverpool rounded out 2-2, took a 2-0 lead, and then kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit and stuff like that. Arsenal capitalised 2 good goals. And then down to 10 men, Moreno getting sent off. And we just basically couldn't score from there. We kind of took over. October 19, 2022, United last beat them. There you go. That's a stat, isn't it? That is a stat.
Well, it's only a handful of games we played against them in the league since that. It's only 2 seasons or something like that, 4 games or something. Because I don't think we played them in the cup. Maybe the League Cup actually, was it? Last season? I'm not too sure.
Maybe. Right. Let's talk about FA Cup. What you're thinking? Talk to me.
Yeah, it's going to be, do you know what? It's one of these, over the last few years, when City get to the final, they're playing someone like a Stoke or something like that, and you're not. But yeah, I think Palace are going to put it up to them. Obviously, Palace's my memory would be the 2015 final against us. Remember Pardew doing his little dance on the sideline when they equalised that time and stuff. So yeah, I'd love to see Palace do it. The style of football they've been playing this season has been excellent. Eze's been unbelievable. Obviously, Wharton in midfield, he had a bit of an injury that time, and he's come back. Sarr has been immense. So I'd love to see them be able to do it, but you can't write City off at the same time. But I think it's going to be a real end-to-end match, and it's going to be a real big battle. It could go all the way to extra time and penalties, but I'd love to see Palace do it. I really would.
6 games, Morris says. He's on the ball tonight, isn't he? He's on the ball tonight, isn't he?
Off the
yeah, very
big
toxic, Phil. Yeah, it looks like it's just coming out now. Yeah, and it's
big time.
You know, and listen, it's not like there wasn't shade thrown either. You know, so it's,
but we're not as toxic as Arsenal Fan TV. Let's just put it that way.
Lost 4-3 in the EFL last year.
Yeah, I had a feeling we played in the League Cup, all right. Yeah,
it's dropping all that sports stats. Yeah, so me not being biased as to who I want to win the cup. That's why I put all the Crystal Palace. How they did about their record there. Yeah, I want Palace to win. I'd love to see Palace win. Great for their fans. Fantastic as well, you know. And again, another London club potentially picking up a trophy in the finals. That'll be amazing. And
it's going to be a good final, though, in fairness. It will be.
It does. It has the feeling of an exciting final as well, because Palace are a good attacking team as well. Like, so they'll give it a go, you know. I'm rooting for Man United, though, Mark.
Morris. You don't want to see your North London rivals winning something, man.
Well, imagine that. Well, you can imagine if Spurs won, and Palace won, and Chelsea won the cups. That would be insane, wouldn't it?
Could happen.
Yeah,
all the trophies back in London.
Yeah. Phillips in. If Ange got sacked at Spurs, it won't make any difference who gets the job at Spurs. As long as Daniel Levy's around, Levy is toxic. Yeah, absolutely. It's him.
You're right there, Philip.
Incredible in terms of generating revenue and sponsorship and all the other stuff, bar football. Yeah. As a matter of fact, what would be brilliant is if Levy looked after that kind of end of things and he actually brought in a proper sporting director there to run the football matters along with a manager. Spurs would be probably a lot more successful, in fairness.
Do you reckon Roy Mason is waiting around with a suit for a phone call, maybe to get the nod ahead to go into our manager for the final next week?
No. I wouldn't imagine Ange has the same bonus that Mourinho has.
Definitely not.
Big up, Sean. Good to see you, pal. Haven't seen you in a while. Up the town. That victory against Chelsea basically guarantees top 5. Pretty close, yeah, absolutely. Philip, Arsenal Fan TV, another toxic shower. I have to say, this is my guilty pleasure.
I was watching your man as the your man, the owl lad, the baldy guy, like Lee Judges.
Julian. Lee Judges, yeah.
He went on some rant last week, man, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
They must have St. John's ambulance waiting at the side, because some of them nearly look like they're going to keel over. Like.
Well, see, the tough thing for Lee as well, as far as I know, most of Lee's family are Spurs fans.
Okay,
yeah. Lee's a
gamer, it hits different. It hits different, like
so it hits different, you know. Like even and it probably wouldn't have been as bad if they had made it to the final, even. Because both Spurs and Arsenal in finals, but the fact that Spurs are in the final, Arsenal didn't make it. I'm sure he was getting lettered over by the family and everything.
Big time.
So what do you think of Palace?
I'm hoping Palace. Obviously, a part of me thinks City, because they're so no matter. You know what game they're in, you know, FA Cup final. It's their kind of competition over the years. But yeah, no, definitely love to see Palace do it.
Yeah, that's right, Morris. He has the dry cleaners in the top side as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'd say he gets awful guff. So there we go. Yeah. So I presume most people in here are Palace for the cup anyway. If you're any sort of football fan, absolutely right. Let's take in some League of Ireland. Yeah. Let's start with the Premier League. Some great stuff going on here at the moment.
Big game, yeah, Friday night. Obviously, Shell's getting the win late on, 90th minute. Great finish. It was a decent enough game. Yeah, brilliant. Great finish as well to take it down on the knee and hit it with the left foot into the bottom left-hand corner. Great finish. I think Philip might have been at it with my cousin David and stuff like that. The atmosphere atmosphere looked absolutely fantastic when that goal went in. The roof went off the stadium. It was brilliant. So great win, much needed win after the last few draws as well, because the 3-2 all draws in a row and then to get beaten by Waterford as well. Yeah, so it was it was a great 3 points to pick up,
Did I read after the game on Friday they Cork part ways with their manager?
I did read something about that.
I think it was.
Because
I thought I read it all right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they did anyway. So
give me 2
and
seconds.
I haven't seen any further update.
It's disappointing. Listen, there you look at from Galway up to obviously Rovers, it's so tight, 6 points from first to 8. Then Cork and Sligo are kind of lagging behind, So it's and then obviously I think what's got over Sligo on the Saturday? On Saturday we're playing Saturday evening, weren't they?
Yeah.
Give me 2. Yeah, they got beaten 1-0 by Bowles on Saturday.
Yeah.
But in fairness, like obviously Derry went 1-0 up early on in the first half an hour, 25 minutes or so, and Cork got themselves back into it, and they looked kind of dangerous from set pieces, from corners, from free kicks from the edge of the box and stuff like that from either side of the box. But yeah, Derry got a goal in the last 10 minutes and it just knocked Cork's confidence, and that was it. They seen it out there. So great win on the road for Derry. They're obviously up there with Rovers now as well. So over the last few weeks, Derry have really been performing very well,
Yeah, I think if you're 8 points detached after 15 games, you probably kind of need to make a change, don't you? Not that we wish anyone to lose their job. But
I'm just going to Google that now because I did read something, but I didn't click into it. So I don't know if it was about that or saying...
need to talk about Rovers as well. 3-0 against Drogheda. What a performance in the second half. Rovers really looking back to themselves now. Even fitness-wise on Friday night, they look different gravy altogether. The work rate of Jack Byrne and his ball, his dead ball, his delivery, everything and all is just incredible at the moment.
He looks like there's no effort. It was Tim Clancy. It was his decision to leave apparently. So, fair play to him. But Jack is great. He's always been a great set piece taker. I don't know if you ever see him when he's taking the corner. So if whatever the first corner of each half he takes, right, he'll pick up a bit of grass and he'll go like that to see what way the wind is going before he takes the free kick. So or the corner kick, sorry. So next time you're watching the telly, keep an eye out for that. But he's brilliant. He's just everything he does looks so effortless, He's and he's still only like, what did I read? Was he 28, 29? Like it seems like he's been around forever, so it was a great win for them. Obviously, I just had a feeling Drogheda, they've been doing so well. I think we spoke about it on Saturday with Stephen in the hotel, myself, yourself, and Stephen. Like they've been going so well, and then you just felt there was going to be a little drop, And
that second half just looked like they ran out of gas because Rovers were just tearing them apart. Like
they were huffing and puffing, and it could have been a lot more. It could have been a lot more. It's funny. I would bring Georgia to bed on a Friday, and she always asked, "Daddy, can we watch the football?" Because I do watch the League of Ireland on the phone. So that's been our little routine now. We just sit upstairs and watch the League of Ireland together. We were watching a bit of Rovers game because I have the League of Ireland TV obviously down here in the sitting room, but I have the Virgin Media app, so that was the one on. So myself and Georgia were watching upstairs. So it was a good game. Rovers deservedly win, 3 points, clean sheet, and it was a massive win for them to keep them right on top of the table on goal difference.
Yeah, that was actually I caught the highlights as well of the Shelbourne Pats game. That was a lovely goal from young Mealy as well, who's heading over the Spurs as well, isn't it?
He took it well in fairness to him,
really nice goal as well. Yeah, absolutely. Some nice ones that. But let's get into then Division 1.
Yeah, we spoke about the Dundalk game. I think we spoke about it again the weekend when I seen it there.
It was with 10 men.
Do you know what they done it a few weeks ago as well with I think it was against Treaty United. Obviously Bray scored to go 2-1 up in the 89th minute, but then for Dundalk to just keep pushing and pushing, especially they were at home, they took an early lead in the first 20 minutes. Bray got themselves back into it, scored I think about 10 minutes later. But just they seem to be doing it. If you look, I'm nearly sure it was Treaty United. They scored, and Bray in the previous game, they scored an extra or in injury time. They just seem to keep going, and they're still unbeaten. that to me, like I said to you, I spoke to John. John was in the shop a few weeks ago. This seems to be a thing in their head of going the whole season. So again, it's another one, and they still go unbeaten. A massive point for them. You know, Bray will
and in
be
fairness, Bray were down to 10 men for the guts of 25 minutes of that second half as well.
They
You know,
played excellent. Bray played excellent.
And Dundalk battered them in that time as well. They did everything bar score as well. And then when Bray got the goal, then that dampened it down a bit. But Dundalk came back again to get the draw, which is a good sign of champions as well.
Oh, absolutely. But you saying a Bray were just throwing bodies in the way, this, that, and the blocking everything, frustrating Dundalk. And they go and get the 2-1, thinking Jesus 10 men in Oriel Park, 2-1, here we go. And they let themselves down in injury time. So yeah, they Dundalk will feel like that's 3 points for them. You know, that sort of way when you score that late.
And Bray will feel it's 2 points gone because they weren't there, like, and especially after, you know, defending that way for that length of time and all, must be. You'll have to pick them up for this week coming, that's for sure.
It was a massive game for both teams, but
yeah, absolutely. And Lone win a 2-0 against Finn Harps. Kerry picking up the win against Treaty. The students on level terms with Longford. I think Darren called some of these results actually the other night on Thursday.
Longford played most of the game like they should have won it. UCD got back into Longford. Wayne Groves, obviously the Longford manager, interviewed after, very frustrated because I thought for parts of the game they deserved to win it. They haven't had much luck over the last 2 seasons in terms of getting results. I thought Wayne would have been sacked last season, but he was kept in, and it's been tough for them. But yeah, I did think they deserved the full 3 points against UCD. But yeah, they'll have to be happy with one.
And then Cove absolutely flying this season, 2-0 against Wexford. I think Wexford had a man sent off as well, if I'm right.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's shaping up nice there as well. Bray 28, Cove 29, and Dundalk out in front with 32. We could all tighten up, but Dundalk look like they're at it. They look like they're at it. They're not giving up too easy, that's for sure. That's about it. That's now for us. I think that's it. I think that's everything. There we go.
Happy days.
There we go. So like I said, folks, tomorrow night, 8:30, Pro Wrestling Weekly. I will be on. I think the two Seans are joining me as well, and Bren, and Ian might be coming on as well if he gets back from work. We're going to take a look at Sabu's career and pay homage to the man who redefined the word extreme, to say the least. A man that I've met a couple of times as well. Morris said he's had some interactions with him as well. So we'll share some of those stories as well tomorrow night. We'll also have our roundup of Raw, take a quick look back at Backlash, and all the other usual stuff that we have on the show. So don't forget to join us. And of course, Thursday back on your screens with Darren with Thursday Tier Talk. So folks, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video. Make sure you're following Mark, Instagram, Hogan Elite Trophy Hire, and Facebook. And also make sure you're heading over to Morris' channel there, Cheapy Productions Podcast. Make sure you are following everyone and giving them all the support. And we will talk again real soon. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, cuz.